Greetings, friends. I'm your fellow film fan, Jimmy Overton. I also have the honor of being the ambassador host for Monday at the Movies, a series of weekly classic film presentations at the historic Wayne Theater Ross Performing Arts Center here in Waynesburg, Virginia. As we know, the theater is currently closed due to government restrictions on social gathering. However, we would like to stay in touch with you, and we invite you to stay in touch with us via hashtag at home with the Wayne. Hashtag at home with the Wayne. That can be accessed also through the historic Wayne Theater Ross Performing Arts Center website and Facebook page. There are many very entertaining posts that are being presented there regularly by some very talented people that I'm sure you will enjoy. Also, from week to week at Monday at the Movies, I would customarily give a brief introduction of the film that we're about to present up on the big screen. And we've been continuing to do that as well. My weekly film introductions can also be seen at hashtag at home with the Wayne. Many of our Monday night film fans and patrons of the theater have been quite gladly following the preempted films that we've been unable to present from the safety of their home. It's a great idea. I've been watching them every Monday along with you from here at my place. And we can all stay current with each other, make a few notes, and when smoke clears, we can all get together and share our thoughts and have a little cinema chat as we continue to enjoy these great movies that have been carefully selected for your enjoyment. Every film that we would have been presenting is available in one format or another via Amazon Prime, Netflix, Vudu. So just place the title from week to week in your queue and then get some popcorn and enjoy the film on Monday evening. And as I said, we can stay current with each other. By the way, the film that has been scheduled for this Monday, June the 29th, is the last film of the first 6 months of 2020, film schedule. We present a schedule twice a year, and that's about 23, 24 films. And the current rack card that I'm sure everyone got back at the beginning of the year will expire on the next coming Monday. However, the second half of the year, as many of you already know, has been from the very beginning designated the audience choice season from July through December. And those films are selected from a file that I've kept, a very comprehensive file of your suggestions from week to week over the last few years. People hand me a note, shoot me an email. Continue to do so, by the way. I love to hear about what you'd like to see. And I keep a very complete file of all those titles, and it's always a very impressive list of films. So the second, this what would be the fifth annual audience choice season for the second half of 2020 has been prepared. And within the next few days, certainly before next Monday, we'll be posting that in a version that you can print out at home and place on your desk or your refrigerator door. And you'll know about the films that are coming up for the second half of the year. We'll continue to follow them virtually until the Wayne Theater very happily reopens its doors. And we can all join together in the theater again and enjoy these films up on the big screen. But keep your eyes peeled for that because it's coming very soon. Now, the film scheduled for June the 29th, what can be said about this picture that hasn't already been said? From 1965, The Sound of Music. It's a film, big hit movie. Julie Andrews, Christopher Plummer, long list of very talented people in the cast. It was directed by Robert Wise. This is a director, the scope of his talent and ability is obvious from just looking at his filmography. For instance, he's the same director who created The Day the Earth Stood Still, great science fiction classic, The Haunting, one of the finest horror ghost movies ever made, and also West Side Story and The Sound of Music. Incredible range of ability in this fine filmmaker. This film, along with the film from the year previously in 1964, Mary Poppins, instantly made Julie Andrews an international cinema star, and very deservedly so. She's a wonderfully talented person, great singer, great dancer, just absolutely beautiful person, great screen persona. Uh, she richly deserves her status as a movie icon. Mary Poppins was Sound of Music was nominated for 10 Academy Awards, winning in 5 categories: Best Editing, Best Sound, Best Director for Mr. Wise, Best Music, that's no surprise, and Best Motion Picture of the Year for 1965. It also won a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress for Julie Andrews, and also Best Motion Picture of the Year in 1965. The movie is based on Maria von Trapp's 1949 memoir, The Story of the Von Trapp Singers. While the Von Trapp family hiked over the Alps to Switzerland to escape the Nazis in this film, in reality, they walked to a local train station and boarded the next train to Italy. From Italy, they fled to London and ultimately the United States. Interestingly enough, the day after they left Austria by train for Italy, Adolf Hitler closed the borders of Austria. Very, very close call. The movie shows Captain Von Trapp, that's Christopher Plummer's character, and Maria, Julie Andrews' character, falling in love almost immediately. In real life, apparently, Maria wanted to return to Nürnberg Abbey, as becoming a nun has always been her heart's desire. She was very upset that she wasn't able to return. The Maria von Trapp said in interviews that she fell in love with the children, essentially, and saw marrying the captain as the best way to become a permanent part of their lives. However, over the years, she says, she learned to love the captain also. Maria von Trapp, the real Maria von Trapp, claimed that this movie toned down her behavior somewhat during her stay at Nürnberg Abbey. And when asked in an interview if she was really that bad, she joked, "I was a lot worse." During the iconic opening shot of the film of Maria, as portrayed by Julie Andrews, taken from a helicopter, it's a very, very famous image from film history. Julie Andrews relates that although she tried digging her heels into the ground and bracing herself, every time the chopper would zoom in to get this incredible, from aerial shot down to a close-up, she would be knocked over by a powerful helicopter downdraft. After more than a dozen takes of this happening, she desperately attempted, while the chopper was flying in, to wave it away, to say, "I can't do this anymore, this is beating me up." And the response that she got from director Robert Wise, who was in the chopper with the cameraman, was thumbs up. He'd finally gotten the take that he wanted, so they could move on to the next filming. What price glory, huh? When this movie was first released on home video, it stayed on the charts for over 250 weeks, almost 5 years. It was one of the 3 films to be first released on VHS tape back in 1977, along with Patton and MASH, both films that we've also enjoyed on Monday at the Movies. The soundtrack album of this movie is excellent and is one of the best-selling soundtracks of all time. Around 11 million copies sold worldwide. It's never gone out of print. A Grammy nominee for Album of the Year, which remained at #1 on the Billboard charts for 5 weeks. The earliest issues of the album came with an illustrated booklet discussing the making of the movie and the lives and careers of composers Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein II. Interestingly enough, this is Rodgers and Hammerstein's last musical. Oscar Hammerstein had already been diagnosed with cancer when he and Richard Rodgers began working on a new musical based on Maria von Trapp's memoirs. Edelweiss, one of the most beautiful songs in the film and the Broadway play, was the last song that Oscar Hammerstein II wrote before his death on August the 23rd, 1960. The movie's status as the most successful movie musical was surpassed seemingly 13 years later in 1978 by the film Grease. But in actual when you take it in terms of inflation, $1965 versus $1978, The Sound of Music still remains the most profitable and successful movie musical of all time. Every year, the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles, California hosts an annual Sound of Music sing-along where the song lyrics are shown underneath the screen. The actors and actresses who played the Von Trapp children who still survive and the real Von Trapp children often make appearances at what has consistently been a sold-out event. So friends, like a lot of other movies, there's certain cult-like attributes that have become attached to The Sound of Music. One is singing along. And so in the privacy and safety of your own home, this Monday night, June the 29th, definitely sing along. We all know these songs. They're a few of my favorite songs. Okay, watch out, be on the lookout for that new printable rack card for the 5th annual Audience Choice season, beginning 2 weeks from this coming Monday with Twister. In any case, enjoy The Sound of Music Monday, June the 29th. And this is your fellow film fan, Jimmy Overton, saying, until we meet again, make it a double feature. Thank you very much, friends.